The No Fate channel, checking in. On this episode of Dad's Electronic Review, I want to have a quick discussion, a little discussion about whether you should build your own computer or just go out there and buy it. We hear so often people telling us and touting the benefits of building your own computer. And I thought it was time to do this quick video in light of the fact that Big Red finally died. Now, on this series, I simply go over some electronic device, computer-related information, or like in today's video, we're just going to have a bit of a discussion. So if you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button and drop a comment below. Let me know whether you think you should build your own computer yourself or if it's better to just buy it. We hear so many of the myths. A lot of people will tell us you can get a better computer, a faster computer, better parts, and you're going to save money doing it. And I want to kind of clear through some of those myths. But the reality is, the true answer for the 99% of you watching this video is no. You should not build your own computer. I'm a bit hypocritical because behind me, you will see a computer that I built 2.5 years ago. Affectionately named Big Red after I modded the side panels. However, this cost me $630. It cost me a ton of time and effort, and I loved every minute of it. So why am I telling you not to build your own computer? Well, this thing died in 2.5 years, right? Certainly, if you buy a new computer, you expect to get probably 4 to 5 years out of the computer. And in fact, you're probably going to want to get rid of the computer or upgrade it before it actually dies. This thing, because of me trying to save money and because of me getting some used parts, ended up dying on 2.5 years. The motherboard just went past its usefulness and simply gave up with all of the videos that I've been putting out on this thing. Now, if I had done my research and taken that $650, I easily could have built a desktop computer that would have been as fast, if not faster, than Big Red behind you, and it would have been filled with all new, brand new parts, and it would have come with a warranty. The only thing that I would not have had is I most likely would not have had a lot of space like this computer provided to add in extra hard drives, and there's a couple other small things that I just wouldn't have had. And obviously, if I bought a computer off of the shelf or if I had just bought the computer myself, I certainly wouldn't have modded the sides like I have here in red and black. Now, why do people tell you that if you build your own computer, you can get it cheaper? The reality is, and unfortunately this is something that they fail to mention, that most of those people are experts. And by experts, I mean they're building 10 computers a year, if not more. And what happens when you start building all these computers, you accumulate a lot of extra spare parts, or you're aware of certain deals that the typical person, you or I, just wouldn't be aware of or have knowledge of, because we might build just one computer in a lifetime. So while most of the folks telling you to just simply build your own computer do have good intentions, unless you are coming into a build with a good amount of equipment like the computer case and maybe the power supply unit, the odds of you actually saving money when the build is completed versus what you could buy online, not that much money is going to be saved, if any. Now, one of the other things that they'll say is that you can build a better computer, and by better they mean better components. The myth or the thought is that when you buy a pre-built computer, you get substandard components, right? So these companies, in trying to save money, they're using cheaper company parts rather than maybe the parts that you would want to put into a build to make sure that you get the best parts possible, the best power supply unit possible, the best type of RAM possible. And there is some truth to that, I believe, if you go into a box store and you just buy something off the shelf. However, a lot of the stuff that we're doing these days is online. And if you go online and you have your computer built for you, or if you buy a pre-built computer, you're able to see exactly what type of parts, what type of RAM, what type of RAM speed, the motherboard, the CPU, everything. There's a lot more transparency, especially now that people can go online and build whatever they want than before. Just as an example, I was able to go online and build my own computer, rock a Columbus Day sale, and put everything I specifically wanted into that computer, all the way down to like the motherboard, the wireless card, every little possible detail. I was even able to get no trip back stenciled on the side of my new computer that has yet to arrive. So you can pick whatever parts you want And if you do go to a box store and pick one up off the shelf, you might get substandard parts. But let's talk about the longevity of these parts. They're probably still going to outlast the computer itself. When you buy a computer, your expectation is probably going to be maybe 4 to 5 years. And in that time, you're going to either upgrade the CPU, add in some more RAM, or add in a new graphics card. But by no means in 5 or 6 years do you probably still expect to be using the same exact computer as the day you bought it. That's just how it is. So I don't necessarily think people should worry too much about the quality of the parts that you're buying with pre-built computers, especially because it is going to come with a warranty. So if it does fail in the first year, you're going to have some source of recourse to get your money back or to get that fixed. Now, probably the biggest argument to build your own computer that experts will tell you, or all your friends or anyone else that happens to have an opinion on what you should do, is that you're going to build a faster computer. It's going to be way faster than what you can buy off the shelf. And the reality is that's just simply not true. Again, most of the people giving you that advice that know what they're doing, that are experts, yes, they can build a faster computer than you could buy off the shelf for the same price, apples to apples, dollars to dollars. They're going to know exactly which components to purchase to maximize the performance, and they're going to overclock that computer. But I'll do you one better. You can go online and you can buy a computer and you can have them overclock it for you. I was amazed when I put my computer together and ordered it. They had 3 overclocking options that you could choose from, everywhere from none all the way up to like 25% extra speed. Let's just be honest, if you're watching this video, you're probably not a computer building expert, which means the thought of actually building a faster computer than you can actually buy with the same amount of money is just not a reality unless you have got some background or you have a friend who knows what they're doing helping you out. You're probably not going to build a faster computer. And I don't know what you're hoping to build a faster computer for. How much faster do you expect to build versus what you could buy off the shelf? 5% faster, 10% faster? I would argue you're probably never going to get 10% faster, money for money, than what you're going to buy off the shelf. And if you disagree, drop it in the comments below because I would love your opinion. Now let's talk about the time factor, okay? Now, let's just face it. I went online, did a bit of research that I personally enjoyed. Then I went to one website that I knew I was going to buy from, and I just went right down the list, clicking on what I wanted and hit the buy it button. That's simple. And it's going to show up made, ready to go. I don't have to then buy a piece here, buy a piece there, check out Newegg, check out Amazon, go to Best Buy, then find all these parts, put them together, and then make sure they all turn on and work, and then strap them down, get the cabling just right, and then boot up Windows and go find a valid Windows code for that and get that all set up. And the time that you are going to spend putting that computer together is certainly not going to be worth any potential, and there's probably none, any potential savings that you're going to get from putting the computer yourself versus just buying it or ordering it online, making sure that you get all the specific things, bells and whistles that you want by just purchasing it online at a qualified website. Now, what is the number one benefit of building your own computer? The number one potential benefit, and that is knowledge. I will say the one thing that stands out after spending tons of time on getting all the parts, putting it all together, finally getting this thing to boot up, dealing with so many different headaches and issues, only to have it fail 2.5 years later, is the fact that I learned so much. It was worth it for me as a bucket list item to build my own desktop. It was something I've wanted to do for a long time, and certainly I was nervous because I have had no experience and no potential background in building computers, but I really enjoyed putting this computer together. I'm glad I did. I'm glad it's done, but I will probably never, ever build my own computer again. At best case, I would maybe buy a used computer and then upgrade it, but that is probably never going to happen either. Frankly, if you're just looking to build your own computer because you think you can save money, get a faster computer, and get better parts, you are woefully mistaken. The only reason, the number one and only reason I can think to build your own computer rather than simply finding a great deal online or just speccing it out and having someone else build it for you online is the experience that it has, that you get from it, and the knowledge that you get from it. Honestly, after going through all of it, it's one of those things, it's almost like running a marathon. The first marathon I ever ran, and the last, as soon as I crossed that finish line, I was so glad that it was over, and my first thought was, never again. Let's cross it off the bucket list, and we're moving on. And that's the same thing I think with building computers. I've built one, and my answer going forward is probably going to be never again. So if you do want to build a computer yourself because you want the experience and you want the know-how and the knowledge of putting it all together yourself and all that great stuff, go for it. But please don't lie to yourself and think that you're going to save money, you're going to get a faster computer, or you're going to get better parts. Simply untrue and not realistic at all. If you came this far in the video, do me a favor, give this video a like and hit that subscribe button down below. And still, please drop your comments below. I'd love your opinions. I know there's so many of you out there with a lot more computer experience than me by far. Trust me, it's not that hard to have more computer experience than me. But drop it down below. I'd love your take on this issue. As usual, thanks for watching, and don't save anything for the trip back. The No Fate 24/7 channel may seem like a potpourri of review videos, but I simply cover my tricks, trips, and tribulations as I help you be great parents to your kids and still accomplish your own personal goals.